The Grand Hall of the Galactic Council buzzed with activity. Thousands of alien species from all corners of the universe gathered here. It was a sight to behold. Creatures of all shapes, sizes, and colors moved about. Some floated, some crawled, while others walked on multiple legs. The hall itself was a marvel of alien architecture. Its high domed ceiling sparkled with tiny lights that looked like stars. The walls seemed to shift and change color, reflecting the mood of the gathering. In the center stood a massive holographic display, showing the vast expanse of the known galaxy. At the far end of the hall, on a raised platform, sat the council elders. These were the oldest and wisest beings from the most advanced civilizations. They wore flowing robes adorned with symbols of their high status. Their faces, though alien, showed the weight of their responsibilities. As the session began, a hush fell over the crowd. The head elder, a tall, slender being with shimmering blue skin, stood up. Its voice, translated by advanced technology, echoed through the hall. Esteemed members of the Galactic Council, it began. Today is a historic day. We welcome a new species to our ranks. Murmurs rippled through the crowd. New species were rare. Most civilizations in the galaxy had been part of the Council for millennia. The head elder continued, "From a small planet in the outer rim of the Milky Way, we present the humans of Earth." The massive doors at the end of the hall swung open. All eyes turned to see the new arrivals. A group of humans walked in, their steps echoing in the sudden silence. The aliens stared in curiosity and, in some cases, contempt. The humans looked so simple. They walked on two legs, had two arms, and were covered in fitted suits that looked primitive compared to the advanced biotech wear of other species. As the humans made their way to the center of the hall, whispers broke out among the alien delegates. "Look how small they are," one tentacled being gurgled to its neighbor. "I heard their planet still runs on fossil fuels," another replied with a laugh. "Do they even have faster than light travel?" A floating gas cloud wondered aloud. The human delegation, unaware of these comments, reached the center of the hall. Their leader, a woman with graying hair and a determined look, stepped forward. She gazed up at the council elders, her face a mix of awe and resolve. The head elder spoke again. "Humans of Earth, welcome to the Galactic Council. Please, introduce yourselves and your civilization." The human leader cleared her throat. When she spoke, her voice was firm and clear. "Honorable elders, esteemed members of the council, I am Dr. Sarah Chen, representing the United Earth Government. We come in peace and with great hope for the future." She paused, looking around at the sea of alien faces. Earth is a young planet, and we are a young species, but we have achieved much in our short history. We have unlocked the secrets of the atom, cured countless diseases, and recently mastered interstellar travel. At this, a ripple of disbelief ran through the crowd. Many alien species exchanged skeptical glances. Dr. Chen continued, undeterred. "We may be new to the galactic stage, but we are eager to learn, to contribute, and to become valuable members of this council." As she spoke, holographic images appeared behind her, showing scenes from Earth, its blue oceans, green forests, bustling cities, and recent space achievements. The head elder nodded slowly. "We welcome your enthusiasm, humans. However, membership in this council is not given lightly. You must prove your worth and your ability to contribute to galactic peace and progress." Dr. Chen squared her shoulders. "We understand, and we are ready for any challenge." The head elder's lips curled in what might have been a smile. "Very well. As is tradition, new species must demonstrate their military capabilities. After all, the council must know if you can defend yourselves and others." A mix of excitement and nervousness passed over the human delegation's faces. They had prepared for this, but standing here, surrounded by advanced alien civilizations, their confidence wavered. Little did they know, their greatest test and triumph was yet to come. Dr. Sarah Chen stood tall, despite feeling small among the towering alien beings. The Galactic Council Hall stretched out before her, a sea of curious and skeptical faces. She took a deep breath, reminding herself of the years of preparation that had led to this moment. "Respected members of the Galactic Council," she began, her voice steady. "We, the people of Earth, are honored to stand before you today." As she spoke, holographic images flickered to life behind her. They showed Earth from space, a beautiful blue marble swirling with white clouds. Our planet, Earth, is the third from our star, which we call the Sun, Sarah explained. It's a world of great diversity, with vast oceans, towering mountains, and sprawling forests. The images change, showing Earth's varied landscapes. Many alien delegates leaned forward, intrigued by the planet's beauty. "But Earth's true treasure is its people," Sarah continued. "We are a species of dreamers and doers. Our history is filled with moments of great challenge, but also great triumph." Now the hologram displayed scenes from human history. The first flight of the Wright brothers, Neil Armstrong stepping onto the moon. The development of renewable energy sources. "We've faced many obstacles on our journey to the stars," Sarah said. "We've made mistakes, had our share of conflicts. But we've always strived to learn, to grow, to be better." Some of the alien delegates nodded, seeming to relate to this sentiment. Others remained impassive, their alien features hard to read. Sarah pressed on. "In recent years, we've made significant technological advancements. We've developed clean energy sources, made breakthroughs in medicine, and of course, achieved faster than light travel." At this, a low murmur rippled through the crowd. A tall, insectoid being near the front clicked its mandibles in what seemed like amusement. Undeterred, Sarah continued, "We know we're newcomers to the galactic stage. We have much to learn from all of you, but we also believe we have much to offer." The head elder, its blue skin shimmering, leaned forward. "And what exactly do you think you can offer, humans? Our council includes species that have traveled the stars for millions of years. Some here have technology that would seem like magic to you." Sarah nodded respectfully. "You're right, esteemed elder. We can't compete with millions of years of advancement. But what we lack in age, we make up for in determination and adaptability." She gestured to her team. "Humans have a unique ability to think outside the box, to find innovative solutions to complex problems. We've gone from horse-drawn carriages to space travel in just a few centuries." The hologram now showed Earth's first interstellar ship. It looked small and simple compared to the sleek alien vessels visible through the council hall's windows. "We may be behind in some areas," Sarah admitted, "but we're quick learners. We're eager to contribute our unique perspective to the council. We believe diversity of thought is crucial for progress." A ripple of muttering spread through the alien delegates. Some nodded in agreement, while others scoffed quietly. The head elder raised a hand for silence. "Your enthusiasm is admirable, Dr. Chen. But enthusiasm alone does not grant one a place at this table. You must prove your worth." Sarah straightened her shoulders. "We understand, and we're ready to do whatever it takes." A tall, reptilian being stepped forward. Its scales glittered as it spoke. "Words are easy, human. Actions are what count. Show us these innovative solutions you speak of." Sarah exchanged glances with her team. They had prepared for this, but facing the reality of it was daunting. "We would be honored to demonstrate our capabilities," Sarah said, her voice firm. "What did you have in mind?" The head elder's lips curled into what might have been a smile. "As is tradition for new species, you will showcase your military prowess. After all, a member of the Galactic Council must be able to defend not just themselves, but others as well." A hush fell over the hall. All eyes were on the human delegation. Sarah felt a bead of sweat form on her brow, but she didn't let her nervousness show. "We accept your challenge, esteemed elder." As she spoke, she couldn't help but wonder if they had bitten off more than they could chew. The humans had a secret weapon, but would it be enough to impress these advanced civilizations? Only time would tell. The Grand Hall of the Galactic Council buzzed with excitement. It was time for the military showcase, a tradition for all new species seeking membership. Alien delegates from across the galaxy watched with keen interest, eager to see what these newcomers from Earth could do. The head elder's voice boomed across the hall. Let the military showcase begin. Each species will present their most advanced warship and weapon systems. One by one, alien races stepped forward to display their military might. The show was nothing short of spectacular. First came the Zorgans, a race of towering, four-armed beings. Their warship materialized as a massive hologram in the center of the hall. It was sleek, dark, and menacing, bristling with weapon ports. Behold, the Deathbringer, the Zorgan leader announced proudly, capable of destroying entire planets with a single blast from its quantum cannon. Gasps and murmurs of appreciation rippled through the crowd. Dr. Sarah Chen and her human team exchanged nervous glances. Next were the Accelarians, a species of highly evolved energy beings. Their ship appeared as a pulsing orb of pure light. Our Starcore doesn't just destroy, the Accelarian representative explained. It can warp space-time itself, trapping enemy fleets in pocket dimensions. More oohs and ahs followed. The human delegation shifted uncomfortably in their seats. Species after species presented their incredible technologies. There were ships that could cloak entire star systems, weapons that could accelerate the aging of suns, and defense systems that could redirect asteroid fields. Finally, it was Earth's turn. Dr. Chen stood up, her heart pounding. She walked to the center of the hall, all eyes upon her. With a deep breath, she activated their holographic projector. A small fleet of Earth's best ships appeared. They looked painfully ordinary compared to what had come before. Blocky, functional, and undeniably less advanced. This is the pride of Earth's space fleet, Sarah began, trying to keep her voice steady. Our flagship, the EDS Horizon, equipped with plasma cannons. And she was cut off by a burst of laughter from the alien delegates. The sound echoed around the hall, making Sarah's cheeks burn with embarrassment. You call that a warship? A tentacled being chortled. It looks like it would fall apart if you sneezed at it. How quaint, a floating gas cloud being chimed in. It's almost adorable how primitive it is. Even the usually stoic head elders seemed amused. Dr. Chen, surely this can't be the best Earth has to offer. Sarah stood her ground, though her confidence was shaken. We may not have the most advanced technology, but what we lack in firepower, we make up for in strategy and determination. This only prompted more laughter. Sarah could see her team shrinking in their seats, faces red with humiliation. A tall, reptilian being stepped forward, its scales glittering in the light. Strategy, you say? And what strategy could possibly make up for such inadequate equipment? Sarah opened her mouth to respond, but was interrupted by a booming voice from the back of the hall. Why don't you ask the Crixan Empire about human strategy? All heads turned to see who had spoken. It was Admiral Jack Thompson, a grizzled veteran of Earth's Space Navy. He strode forward, his weathered face set in a determined expression. The Crixans? The head elder asked, curiosity piqued. We haven't heard from that war-mongering race in decades. Admiral Thompson nodded grimly. That's because they made the mistake of attacking Earth, thinking we'd be easy prey. They learned the hard way that humanity doesn't go down without a fight. A hush fell over the hall. Even those who had been laughing moments ago were now listening intently. With just a handful of ships, Thompson continued, much like the ones you see here, we managed to outmaneuver and defeat a Crixan battle fleet 10 times our size. We used asteroids as cover, turned their own weapons against them, and employed tactics they'd never seen before. The alien delegates exchanged surprised looks. The head elder leaned forward, intrigued. Is this true? How have we not heard of this? Sarah stepped in. We're not ones to brag, esteemed elder. We believe actions speak louder than words, and while our ships might not look impressive, they're piloted by crews who can achieve the impossible when their backs are against the wall. As she spoke, a new respect began to dawn in the eyes of many alien delegates. They were starting to see that perhaps there was more to these humans than met the eye. Little did they know, Earth's true surprise was yet to come. The small fleet they had shown was just a decoy. Their real ace in the hole was waiting in the wings, ready to change the course of galactic history. The air in the Galactic Council chamber was thick with tension. The human delegation, led by Dr. Sarah Chen and Admiral Jack Thompson, stood their ground against the skeptical gazes of alien representatives. Just as the head elder was about to speak, a deafening alarm blared through the hall. Red lights flashed, bathing the chamber in an eerie glow. Panic erupted among the delegates. "What's happening?" Sarah shouted over the chaos. The head elder's face, usually a calm blue, had turned a pale lavender. "We're under attack," it announced, its voice trembling. Holographic screens flickered to life around the chamber, showing the space outside. A massive fleet of unknown ships had appeared out of nowhere. Their design was unlike anything the Council had ever seen. Sleek, black vessels that seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. "It's the Void Collective," a tentacled being shrieked. "They've found us." Admiral Thompson's eyes widened. "The Void Collective? Who are they?" A reptilian delegate hissed an explanation. "A race of conquerors from the dark space between galaxies. We thought they were just a myth." The screens showed the Void Collective ships opening fire. Energy beams of pure darkness lanced out, slicing through the Council's defensive satellites like they were made of paper. The head elder's voice boomed over the commotion. "All species, to your battle stations. We must defend the Council." In a flurry of movement, alien delegates rushed to their ships. The chamber, once filled with laughter and scorn, now echoed with the sounds of fear and desperation. Sarah turned to Admiral Thompson. "What should we do? Our ships are no match for that fleet." Thompson's weathered face was grim. "We help. It's what we came here to do, isn't it?" Outside, the battle had begun in earnest. The combined fleet of the Galactic Council engaged the Void Collective. It was a spectacular sight. Energy beams, missile barrages, and exotic weapons lit up the space around the Council's homeworld. But it quickly became clear that the Council was outmatched. The Zorgon's mighty Deathbringer, which had seemed so impressive earlier, was swatted aside by the void ships like a toy. Its much-vaunted planet-destroying cannon barely scratched their hulls. The Solarian Starcore fared no better. As it attempted to create a pocket dimension to trap the enemy fleet, a void ship simply absorbed the distortion, growing larger in the process. One by one, the most advanced ships of the Galactic Council fell before the onslaught. The aliens who had laughed at Earth's primitive fleet now found themselves retreating in disarray. In the Council chamber, the head elder watched the battle with despair. "It's over," it muttered. "The Void Collective is too powerful. We've lost." But Sarah and Admiral Thompson exchanged a knowing look. "Not yet. We haven't," Thompson said firmly. He pulled out a small communication device. "This is Admiral Thompson. Execute Operation Trojan Horse. I repeat, execute Operation Trojan Horse." Sarah raised an eyebrow. "Trojan Horse? What are you talking about, Admiral?" Thompson's lips curled into a small smile. "Did you really think that little fleet was all we brought, Doctor? We humans have learned a thing or two about keeping our cards close to our chest." The head elder turned to them, confusion written across its alien features. "What are you doing? What can you possibly hope to achieve?" "Just watch," Thompson replied, his eyes fixed on the battle raging outside. For a moment, nothing seemed to change. The Void Collective continued its relentless advance, pushing back the battered Council forces. Then suddenly, a new ship appeared on the screens. It materialized right in the heart of the Void Fleet, so massive it dwarfed even their largest vessels. Gasps of awe and disbelief echoed through the chamber. The ship was clearly of human design, but unlike anything they had shown before. It was sleek yet powerful, its hull gleaming with an otherworldly sheen. "Ladies, gentlemen, and beings of all kinds, Admiral Thompson announced, a note of pride in his voice. "I give you the U.S. Defender, Earth's true flagship." As the assembled aliens watched in stunned silence, the U.S. Defender sprang into action. It moved with impossible speed and grace for a ship of its size, unleashing a barrage of weapons that cut through the void ships like they were made of glass. The tide of battle had turned in an instant. The Void Collective, caught off guard by this unexpected threat, found themselves on the defensive for the first time. In the council chamber, the mood shifted from despair to hope. The head elder turned to the human delegation, its eyes wide with newfound respect. "It seems," it said slowly, "that we may have underestimated you humans after all." All eyes in the Galactic Council chamber were fixed on the massive view screens. The U.S. Defender hung in space, a gleaming beacon of hope amidst the chaos of battle. Its sudden appearance had stunned both the Council members and the invading Void Collective fleet. Admiral Thompson stepped forward, his chest swelling with pride. "Allow me to introduce you to humanity's true flagship, the U.S. Defender." Dr. Sarah Chen couldn't hide her own surprise. "Admiral, why wasn't I informed about this?" Thompson gave her a wry smile. "Compartmentalization, Doctor. Even among our own, we kept this ship's existence on a need-to-know basis." The head elder, its blue skin now tinged with a mix of awe and embarrassment, floated closer. "This ship, it's unlike anything we've ever seen. How did you manage to hide such a vessel from our sensors?" "Adaptive camouflage technology," Thompson explained. "The Defender can blend in with the background radiation of space, making it virtually invisible to all known forms of detection." On the screens, the Defender began to move. Despite its enormous size, it glided through space with the grace of a much smaller vessel. The Void Collective ships, caught off guard, scrambled to regroup. "But size and stealth aren't the Defender's only tricks," Thompson continued. He tapped a command into his wrist device. "Captain Singh, if you would be so kind as to give our audience a demonstration." A new voice crackled over the comms. "With pleasure, Admiral. All hands, prepare for full weapons demonstration." What happened next left the alien delegate speechless. The Defender's hull seemed to ripple, and suddenly, an array of weapons unlike anything they had ever seen emerged from hidden compartments. Beams of energy and colors the aliens had never seen before lanced out from the Defender, each one finding its mark with pinpoint accuracy. Void Collective ships that had shrugged off the Council's most powerful weapons like they were nothing now found themselves being torn apart. "Quantum disruptor cannons," Thompson explained to the astounded Council. "They don't just damage the enemy ships, they temporarily disrupt the laws of physics around their target." Indeed, the void ships struck by these beams seemed to warp and twist, some imploding, others simply winking out of existence. But the Defender wasn't done. A swarm of smaller objects detached from its hull, zipping towards the enemy fleet. "Smart drones," Thompson said, "each one with an AI sophisticated enough to outthink most organic pilots. They can adapt their tactics in real time based on the enemy's responses." The drones weaved through the Void Fleet's formation, causing chaos and confusion. Enemy ships found themselves firing at empty space as the drones predicted and dodged their attacks with impossible precision. The head elder turned to Thompson, its eyes wide. "This technology, it's centuries beyond even our most advanced members. How is this possible?" Thompson's face grew serious. "Necessity, Elder. Earth has been invaded many times throughout our history. We learned early on that we needed to be clever to survive. Every time we faced a seemingly unbeatable foe, we adapted, we innovated, we survived." Dr. Chen stepped in. "What the Admiral is trying to say is that humanity's greatest strength isn't our technology. It's our ability to face impossible odds and find a way to overcome them." As if to punctuate her words, the Defender unleashed another barrage. This time, instead of energy beams, it fired what looked like glowing nets of light. These nets expanded as they flew, enveloping entire squadrons of void ships. "Quantum entanglement fields," Thompson explained. "They link the captured ships together, forcing them to move as one unwieldy unit. It's like trying to drive a car where each wheel has its own mind. The result was immediate and dramatic. The trapped void ships, unable to coordinate their movements, began to collide with each other. Those that managed to fire their weapons found their shots going wild, sometimes hitting their own allies. In the council chamber, the mood had shifted dramatically. The alien delegates who had laughed at humanity's primitive technology mere hours ago now watched in awe as this single human ship turned the tide of an unwinnable battle. The head elder turned to Dr. Chen and Admiral Thompson, its voice solemn. "It seems we owe you an apology, representatives of Earth. We gravely underestimated your species." Thompson nodded graciously. "Apology accepted, Elder. Now shall we discuss how we can work together to end this threat once and for all?" As the council members gathered around to strategize, the U.S. Defender continued its dance among the stars, a testament to humanity's ingenuity and their newfound place in the galactic community. The vast expanse of space around the Galactic Council's home world had transformed into a battlefield of epic proportions. At the center of it all, the U.S. Defender stood as a beacon of hope, its massive form dwarfing even the largest Void collective ships. Captain Arya Singh sat in the command chair on the Defender's bridge, her dark eyes scanning the tactical displays. "Status report," she barked. Her first officer, a tall, lanky man named Johnson, responded quickly. "Shields holding at 92%, Captain. All weapon systems are fully operational. The Void fleet is regrouping for another assault." Singh nodded, a grim smile on her face. "They're persistent, I'll give them that. Let's show them why that's a bad idea. Tactical, prepare the sunburst cannon." On the main view screen, the Void ships were forming into a tight, arrow-shaped formation. It was an impressive sight, their black hulls seeming to absorb the very light of distant stars. In the Galactic Council chamber, the alien delegates watched the battle unfold with a mixture of fear and awe. Admiral Thompson stood with them, providing commentary on the Defender's capabilities. "The sunburst cannon," he explained, "is our most powerful weapon. It harnesses the power of a miniature star contained within the ship's core." The head elder's eyes widened. "You've managed to contain a star within a spacecraft. Impossible." Thompson chuckled. "We humans have a saying, the impossible just takes a little longer." Back on the Defender's bridge, Captain Singh gave the order. "Sunburst cannon, fire." For a moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then suddenly, a blinding light erupted from the front of the Defender. It was as if a new star had been born in the midst of the battle. The beam lanced out, cutting through space itself. When it reached the Void fleet, the results were catastrophic. Ships caught in its path simply ceased to exist, vaporized in an instant. Those on the periphery spun out of control, their systems overloaded by the intense energy. In the council chamber, the aliens shielded their eyes from the brightness on the view screens. When they looked again, a huge swath of the Void fleet was just gone. By the cosmic egg, a tentacled being breathed. They've destroyed half the enemy fleet with a single shot. But the battle was far from over. The remaining Void ships, though damaged and disoriented, began to regroup. Their own weapons, dark beams that seemed to suck the light out of space, lashed out at the Defender. Captain Singh gripped her armrests as the ship shuddered under the impact. Evasive maneuvers. Bring us about for another pass. The massive Defender moved with surprising agility, dodging the worst of the Void attacks. Its own weapons blazed continuously, a symphony of advanced technology unleashed upon the enemy. In the council chamber, Dr. Chen turned to the head elder. "We need to coordinate our efforts," she said urgently. "The Defender is powerful, but it can't win this battle alone." The head elder nodded, shaking off its awe. "You're right, of course. All council ships, form up around the human vessel. Follow its lead." What followed was a dance of death and destruction on a cosmic scale. The Defender, now supported by the remnants of the Council fleet, carved through the Void forces. Human ingenuity combined with alien technologies in ways never before seen. Zorgan ships provided covered fire, while Solarian vessels used their space warping abilities to confuse the enemy. Earth's smart drones worked in perfect sync with organic alien pilots, creating an unpredictable and devastating attack pattern. Hours passed, feeling like minutes to those engaged in the fight. Slowly but surely, the tide of battle turned. The once mighty Void fleet found itself outmatched and outmaneuvered at every turn. Finally, after one last, desperate charge, the remaining Void ships turned tail and fled, jumping to faster-than-light speeds and disappearing into the depths of space. A stunned silence fell over the battlefield and the council chamber alike. Then, gradually, cheers erupted. The combined forces of Earth and the Galactic Council had achieved the impossible. They had defeated the dreaded Void Collective. On the Defender's Bridge, Captain Singh allowed herself a small smile. "Stand down from battle stations," she ordered, "and open a channel to the Council. I think it's time we had a proper introduction." As the adrenaline of battle faded, a new reality began to dawn on the Galactic Council. Humanity, the species they had laughed at mere hours ago, had just saved them all. The balance of power in the galaxy had shifted, and nothing would ever be the same again. The Grand Hall of the Galactic Council, which mere hours ago had echoed with laughter at humanity's expense, now buzzed with excited chatter. Delegates from hundreds of alien races crowded around the human representatives, their eyes filled with newfound respect and curiosity. At the center of it all stood Dr. Sarah Chen and Admiral Jack Thompson, still slightly disheveled from the intense battle but standing tall with pride. The head elder floated towards them, its blue skin shimmering with an iridescent glow. "Representatives of Earth," the head elder began, its voice resonating through the hall. "We owe you a great debt. Your bravery and ingenuity have saved not just this council, but perhaps the entire galaxy." Admiral Thompson nodded graciously. "We're just glad we could help, Elder. It's what we came here to do, after all." The head elder's face twisted into what might have been a smile. "Indeed. And in doing so, you've more than proven your worth." It turned to address the entire council. "I propose an immediate vote to accept Earth as a full member of the Galactic Council. All in favor?" A resounding chorus of agreement echoed through the chamber. Species that had scoffed at humans just hours before now cheered loudly for their inclusion. Dr. Chen stepped forward, her eyes glistening with emotion. "We are honored by your acceptance, and we promise to be worthy members of this esteemed council." As the formalities concluded, the real work began. Alien delegates swarmed around the humans, eager to learn more about their technology and tactics. A Zorgan commander approached Admiral Thompson, all four of his arms extended in a gesture of respect. "Your U.S. Defender, it's beyond anything we've ever seen. Would your people be willing to share some of that technology?" Thompson smiled diplomatically. "We're certainly open to technological exchanges. But remember, it's not just about the hardware. It's the human spirit of innovation and adaptability that makes our tech truly special." Nearby, Dr. Chen found herself surrounded by a group of alien scientists, their appendages waving excitedly as they peppered her with questions. "How does your quantum disruptor cannon work? Can you teach us about your AI systems? What's the secret behind your adaptive camouflage?" Chen laughed, holding up her hands. "One at a time, please. We have much to share, but we also have much to learn from all of you." As discussions continued, it became clear that a new era of galactic cooperation was dawning. Humans, with their unique perspective and problem-solving abilities, were already proposing novel solutions to long-standing galactic issues. Captain Arya Singh, who had joined the gathering after docking the Defender, suggested a joint task force to patrol the galaxy's borders. "We can combine Earth's stealth technology with Solarian space warping abilities," she explained. "Create an early warning system unlike anything the galaxy has ever seen." The idea was met with enthusiastic approval, and soon plans were being drawn up for numerous collaborative projects. As the excitement settled into productive discussions, the head elder called for attention once more. Today marks a new chapter in galactic history, it announced. The addition of humanity to our ranks has already begun to reshape our understanding of what's possible. It turned to the human representatives. Your species has shown us that true strength lies not just in advanced technology, but in the ability to think creatively, to adapt, and to face challenges with unwavering determination. Admiral Thompson nodded in agreement. That's the human way. We may not be the strongest or the most advanced, but we never give up. We always find a way. Dr. Chen added, and now, with the combined knowledge and resources of the Galactic Council, there's no limit to what we can achieve together. The head elder's body pulsed with a warm glow. Indeed, let this be a lesson to us all. We must never judge a species by their apparent level of advancement. True potential lies in the spirit of a people, not just their tools. As the council session drew to a close, there was a palpable sense of hope and excitement in the air. The galaxy faced many challenges. The remnants of the Void Collective were still out there, and other threats would surely emerge. But now, with humanity as part of the Galactic Council, the future looked brighter than ever. Earth, once considered a backwater planet of little consequence, had in one day become a central player on the galactic stage. As delegates departed, making plans for future collaborations and exchanges, one thing was clear: the scoffing was over, and a new galactic order had begun.